All right, and we're recording. All right. Well, this is the first installment of Savages in Sobriety. New way for people to break the silence of addiction. I'm Chuck Williams, and my first distinguished guest is a close friend of mine, my mentor, and all around badass. It's my boy Brian. Should I say fuck fentanyl? Yep, all day.
All day, fuck fentanyl.
All day, all day. So to get started, of course. To get started, just give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Brian H., and I've been in recovery a little while now. I never give the days because days I believe are used against people. So I just use my knowledge, and I gained my knowledge through the process that I've went through the many relapses and the many reoccurrences that I've had throughout a lifetime. I've gotten addicted to crack cocaine at a young age, at 14 years old. I was going to a brandly new opened high school called Montbello High, and at the time, there was just a lot of stigma going around, man, and people were unsure of who they were, including myself. And for me, I started getting high, and that made me feel better. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and I went on a many-year destruction until I started going in and out of the prison system, like many people do. Um, I went to prison in 1989, and I didn't get off a paper until 2022. So them stems in prison weren't a straight shot in prison. What they were stints in prison where I go in and I do 3, 4, 5 years, and I get out and I get high, and I go back in and do 3, 4, 5 years, and I get out. I rob, pillage, steal, lie, cheat, manipulate, get high, and I go back until slowly my life was disappearing. I was starting to see behind me more than I was seeing in front of me. I could see all the years passing me by instead of all the years I had left, maybe. So a slowdown came, and I decided to become a peer coach. I started to become involved in the recovery community, heavily involved. And here I am today trying to give back to others what was freely given to me.
Oh yeah, that's funny. 1989. That I was 3 years old.
Oh, what a night, late September. You know what? It's what's funny about it is I still feel 3 years old. Because
Right.
when
Yeah,
you get it,
there's a couple times in a day where I have to stop and ask myself, what exactly are you doing?
when you get addicted, you lose who you are,
Oh
and
yeah,
you
absolutely.
you lose the little kid inside of you, and all of us lost that are addicted or alcoholics, and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone, and we hide behind many masks. Many masks are there people in the world, and we hide behind these masks to set the illusion that we're okay, that we're bad, that we got everything going right. The world should be fair and just. We use all these unparalleled belief systems that lead us right back into addiction. When truly, if you look at the whole of it, we didn't like ourselves that much. And then if we can look and face that man in the mirror, when you face that man in the mirror, then you're facing all your problems. You have no longer to point to anybody else. Just look at that dude in that mirror and start to change the way, start to change your thinking, start to challenge your belief system. And it goes away, man. It don't go away in a day. It don't go away in a night. It slowly goes away. And we start rebuilding it with positive stuff, positive influence, positive people. And we try to build healthy boundaries. And when we do that, we're capable of saying no. Not all the time does that work, but it gives us the capability again. It gives us the option again to go that that's not the only option in which we make ourselves believe that that getting high is the only option to make us feel better.
Right. And it's funny you mentioned that. I was talking to my mom this morning, and it's crazy how you go through these trials and tribulations in life, and the majority of us, we use the alcohol, the illicits, the prescriptions to ease the pain and mask it rather than actually taking care of the problem itself.
Yeah.
So it's like we always say it's not about how you fall, it's about how you pick yourself up. So, rather than using a Band-Aid, on that, little cut, you actually go in and clean the wound and tend to the wound, use medicated if need be, you know what I mean? Rather than just replacing those Band-Aids with whatever your stick might be.
And sometimes it takes years to find that, because not all the time at your first time in recovery, your first time trying to get off drugs, a lot of times people are doing it for their mom, for their dad, their girlfriend, their son, and they're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And a lot of times them people will go through losing everybody, them finding themselves, or they'll pass away in this addiction, or they'll be in an institution the rest of their life. It's really, really hard to stay balanced if your mind tricks you to believe that the only way out is addiction. Um, there are many of other alternatives. I mean, most people that are addicts are very smart people, and challenging ourselves is the hardest thing we could do, because we related everything to getting high. That's what I did. I related getting high. If I woke up, I needed to get high. If I went to sleep, I needed to get high. If I had sex, I needed to get high. If I went to work, I needed to get high. It wasn't like the first time I took a hit and I said, well, this was fun. Let's have some fun again one day. Sooner or later, the addiction took its toll, and it became every second of every day. There's a guy I know that said it's a miracle to stay sober for 1 second, because there's people out there that don't stay sober for 1 second. So if we're doing that, God's entering a miracle into our life, or whoever you believe in. And having that miracle, having that sense of hope that there's something different, that allows people to make it. That allows me to make it. That allows me to strive. I change from the change I see in others, because what I see in others, I see in myself. So when I see that they're changing the things that I know I possibly might need to change, I know it's possible. So it's real easy to look at someone and see myself. Every day I watch somebody walking by that's in the addiction field. When I see myself and I'm looking at them, go, God, I do that. Is it bad? And I see that they're changing it and it's making it better for them, then I start changing it and make it better for me.
Right. And that's a big thing. There's been a couple times where I've talked to somebody from my past and they haven't changed much, but watching them, listening to them, I'm like, wow, did I really sound like that? Was that really who I was? Because you listen to them and half the time they don't make sense, or they get in that repetitive nature of, oh, this, I'm doing this, I'm going to do this. But then you go back and think about it. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but you eat, sleep, and then score. And if you're lucky enough to sleep, then when you wake up, guess what you're going for? You're not eating. Yeah. You're looking to score. And the cycle is so vicious, so strong that it consumes you in its entirety, and I look back and just the near decades of self-destruction that I'll never get back, but it just, you look back at it like, wow, that's bad.
Crazy. The addictive cycle makes you believe you're a victim.
Right.
You could be getting high and you're going to think you're a victim.
Right.
The sobriety life allows you to learn that you were the victimizer. allows you to pinpoint all the people you hurt in your life and why we can't do that no more.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so it's a fine line between love and hate. And
Yeah,
it's a fine
for sure.
line between love and hating ourselves because we hated ourselves greatly. So loving ourselves is a whole new process. Beginning the stages of loving ourselves is understanding who we are, finding who we are, believing in a God, and changing through that and giving everything to that cat, letting him work through you and don't try to work through him.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing that I've definitely realized, since making the move, finding my higher power. Yeah, I still can't tell you exactly who or what that might be. At the same time, I can tell you that I do believe there's someone looking out for me.
I believe I could fly. I believe I could touch the sky.
I believe you could in a 747.
Hey, Chuck. So not to cut your interview short, I got an angry Hawaiian downstairs that I promised to feed about 4 hours ago for putting up safes.
Okay.
We do a second part to this, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is just the rough draft. So I'm going to go through this and double check it and make sure
What do you
everything's working
think?
properly. But I do appreciate your time, bud.
Yeah, the man in the mirror. That's the one that changes. Later.
Yes, we do. All right.
Peace out.
All right. So this is number one. I hope that this works out and everybody that is on here, feels like they got to say what they wanted to say. And I hope that it reaches anybody that it needs to reach. And in closing, I just want to tell anybody who needs to hear this, you are worth it. You are worth it. Don't ever give up. No matter how dark, no matter how far, you are worth it. You can make the change. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.